Hello everyone. Today we're going to be building an advanced, constant, and consistent stabilizer for water vehicles. Now, let me go ahead and give an example of what an active stabilizer is. So basically, if we adjust this platform, it will continue to stay perfectly, or it'll attempt to correct backwards. Of course, it's just a platform, so it wouldn't actually tilt the vehicle side to side. But if this was on a boat, it would roll the vehicle in the direction it needs to go to become level on the zero. So basically, let's think about it like this. This is the x-axis. Over here is number 1, and this is -1, and that's 0 in the middle. If we set it to 0, it'll try to correct to the middle. And that's what we want. That's how a stabilizer works. It'll try to correct it to the very center of the ship and make sure it's entirely flat. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how to build this now. We're going to use the same exact platform I built, just for the reason that we don't really need to build anything different for the tutorial. Now, of course, you're going to want to build this in your boat, but I'm going to be building this on the platform because I wouldn't want to build a hole just to show you this. This is a very simple tutorial. Now, I'm going to go and delete the stuff that I want to show you how to install. Like this I'm going to leave here, that's just controlling my platform, so just ignore that bit of logic. Anyways, let's go ahead and start out by getting a compact linear track extension. We're going to go ahead and drag it along the bottom. And I suggest using the symmetry axis to find the center of your boat. You want to delete the track that's in the center and replace it with a compact robotic I'm thinking a compact linear track base. And now we're going to look at the arrows. The positive arrow needs to be facing that direction. And I'm looking like towards the front of the vehicle. So if you look at the front of the vehicle, if you look towards the front, you're going to want to make sure that this is just like that with the arrows. If you don't have your arrows enabled, just press directional arrows right here and it'll help you get it correct. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to use a battery for my weight in this video, since it's the heaviest thing in the game, really. And now what you want to do is you want to find the highest point of your boat. And once you do that, you're going to go ahead and place a tilt sensor up there. But for the point of this video, since I'm just building a platform, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make a giant pole going straight up as high as I can. And then we're going to put a tilt sensor on the top. And the tilt sensor is going to be facing in this direction. Now, this will vary depending on the direction that your arrows are. But actually, since my arrows are that direction, we're going to want to place the tilt sensor that way. And now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and connect it up to our PID, which we haven't placed down yet. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to set the PID. So once you place it down and you open it up, you're going to delete the integral gain and set it to 0. And then you're going to set the derivative gain to anywhere under 1,200. Do not go above that amount unless your boat is humongous. So basically, medium boats and under, you will never want to go over 1,200. And small boats, to be honest, you probably don't even want to go above 800. But since this is a small platform and it's going to be hard to correct it, I'm going to go ahead and set it to 1,100. That's what I usually set my boats to as well. Just 1,100 usually does the trick. And then now we're going to go ahead and find our tilt sensor. We're going to connect it down here to the process variable. And we're going to connect the control output to the slider speed. Now we're going to get okay, this is the thing that you have to think about. You can either have it toggleable, which is slightly more difficult, because what will happen is if you turn it off and it's not directly in the center, your boat will list. So I personally just suggest putting a constant on button and then setting it to the active. However, to say this thing does use a lot of electricity from your boat to operate. So what you could do is you can just connect it up to a breaker. Although that would also cause some lists, but you should only have to turn it off when the boat's not in use. So if it lists a little bit when it's not in use, that should be fine. Anyways, now that we've set that up, it should be fully operational. Let's go ahead and take it out for a test as soon as we hook up the power. Just needs that battery that we connected conveniently. Okay, so now it's constantly on. Let's go ahead and give it some turning. See how it's trying to correct? So now we've given it too much sensitivity. So what we can do in this case is come over here and set it to about 800. That's usually good enough. And go ahead and see now that it's nice and smooth. But see, we set it way too low. Let's try setting it to like 950 and see how that works. We want to find what's good for our boat and keeps it nice and stable. Still not high enough. I'm just gonna go and set to 1000. Let's see if this works. You want to be able to traverse the entire track easily as well, so you want to make sure there's no obstacles blocking it, pipes, stuff like that. Anyways, you can just mess around with the sensitivity until you find what you want. And keep in mind, this is the sensitivity right here. 1100 is too high if I remember correctly. Let's give it another try just in case I added one too many zeros or something. Okay, the problem is that if we change it too quickly, I guess, it will freak out. Yep. Okay, so that's fine. 1100 was fine. Anyways, if you guys need help with the vehicle or anything, if you have any problems assembling the stabilizer, I left a link in the description to this example, which you can just copy. But of course you can't just paste this into your boat because that wouldn't work. But you can just copy the PID, you can copy the tilt sensor area. This will basically show you all the logic behind it, although there's only one piece of logic in it. Anyways, I hope this helped you out. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you still have any issues after you use the example that I put in the description, I'll also probably put it in this little eye up here. If you still have problems with it, go ahead and send a comment, and I will respond to it as soon as I can with the fix to it. Anyways, I'm ending the video now. I hope you have a good day.